300 years ago, things fell apart. Earth's few surviving humans now live in self-contained colonies protected from the bloom algae that consumed the planet during the collapse. The most successful of these, Ares, was originally built to prepare for life on Mars. Their mission long since abandoned, Ares now salvages wreckage from the wasteland that was once their home. You are a leader of that effort, a professor and chosen interpreter of the ARORA AI, humanity's guiding lantern. However, centuries of bloom corrosion have taken their toll and resources are scarce. You've spent the last decade searching for the sunken city, a mythic trove of old Earth technology sealed away from the contamination of the surface. ARORA says you're on the right track, but time is running out. How's it going, guys? My name is Graeme. This is Some Distant Memory, a game that's coming out November 14th, something to keep an eye out on for. This is an early look at things. It's like an exploration-based mystery game, I guess. It's set after the apocalypse, and you're discovering these old remnants of the past and piecing together the story yourself. I think it sounded really interesting. The art style looked really well done. I was curious, and thank you to the devs for setting me an early look at this. Professor, there's nothing here. We should get back to base. Give me 5 more minutes, Commander. Aurora says it's here. We just have to search. There is a 16.667 chance of discovering the city. Only 16%. That's much higher than average. Are you aware there's a bloom storm approaching? What? No, not now. Aurora, can you please relay these crucial details to the interpreter? A moderate bloom storm is approaching, Professor. Category 1. Peak duration will be approximately 4 hours. If the rover gets spored, the bloom will eat right through it. I'd like to make it home someday, Professor. You know what this expedition means for Ares and Noah, both of our homes. Aurora says it's here. We just have to search. 5 more minutes, Professor. After that, you'd better be sitting beside me on the rover, ready to ride. Deal? Deal. Inspect the Ares rover, equipped with Aurora large core, battery 65%, 10 hours of power remain, suit comms are active. Can I learn your name? I know I'm Professor. 5 minutes, Professor. Scan what you can. This little tiny plant, maybe? Nah, just step on it. That's fine. So you can do these little pulses to scan things. Give my little buddy there a quick scan, see what he's up to. Make sure there's nothing sketchy about him. That he's not ready to abandon us, or something like that. Carbon, oxygen, iron oxide, nitrogen, silica, calcite. This is a sycamore tree, or Plantainus occidentalis? Plantainus occidentalis. I should know that, actually. Detecting moderate signs of petrification. Estimated date of death, 325 years. This tree died pre-collapse, before the bloom. Is that surprising? Most trees I find were killed by bloom. Whenever Aurora scans a tree, I can't help but hope to find a little life. I'd give anything to see a tree before I die. Slim chance. The last tree died at Noah long before I was born. Ares never had one to begin with. That's kind of I like that sort of stuff, that these characters are so young that they've never seen a living tree. Aluminum can detecting heavy bloom contamination. This is a great find. Get that 5-cent deposit back when you recycle it. An old can? You can find contaminated rubbish anywhere, Professor. It's a sign. Where there's trash, there were people. Oh, well, just keep searching. I see a little bit of a packet of something in the ground. Electronic, maybe? Like a phone? Detecting advanced pre-collapse technology. You have to see this, Commander. It's some kind of artifact. No. Oh, you're gonna sink right through. Dang, Professor. Well, I'm glad the other guy didn't, just abandon us just 'cause. It was more of, we were being overly ambitious with our exploration or whatever, that maybe we were throwing caution to the wind a little bit. I would rather that than the other guy's just like, that's to this twerp, I'm out of here. Poindexter, the professor. Where? Guessing where am I? It's the end of that sentence. Aurora? Oh, no, don't be broken. Aurora, initialize, please. Aurora initialization sequence, system activated, sys check 100%, mem check 100%, oxygen filter 88, Aurora small core 86, link to rover down. Oh, thank NASA, you're attempting to reconnect, a bit broken, low light conditions detected, amplifying handheld lantern. This little lantern tech thing is pretty cool. I like the design of that, and the functionality. Commander Ty, can you hear me? Aurora, run a connection diagnostic. Oh god, there's something to the right there. I don't know if it was just something that a page that blew into the screen. I thought something was coming from the right hand side there. Diagnostic running, testing signal emission. Connection unavailable. What's the problem? The antenna has been irreparably damaged. If I find a replacement, we can restore communication. Estimated 81.6 chance of successful restoring communication. Assume I don't die before I can install it. Recalculating. 97.2% chance of successfully restoring communication. Please stick with that assumption, Aurora. Things are looking pretty good for us then. Unknown object detecting wood, pine, cotton, steel, polyurethane, latex, 0% bloom contamination. I think my camera just had a glitch out. It doesn't know what a mattress is? What do these people from this world sleep on? I landed on this strange, soft thing. Hold on, Aurora, did you say 0% contamination? Correct. Detecting wood, cotton, soup, blah, blah, blah. Deactivate the detailed compositions. Thanks. Yes, Professor. Good. Thank you, Gabe, for having that option. I didn't want to read wood, steel, polyurethane every time. I'd like to perform an area scan. Check for any trace of bloom. Full out scan. No bloom contamination found among your current surroundings. Very strange. This cavern is clean. Preserved. At least I won't die from bloom exposure. This is the thing I found on the surface. An Infinite Edge mobile device manufactured in 2013. An older model. Could we salvage this? No, Professor. Bloom corrosion has rendered the object useless. What about the antennae? Is there anyone inside? Also corrupted by bloom. I guess it was a long shot. Didn't they say nothing in the area was bloom contaminated? I guess it's not bloom contaminated. It's just damaged, and the contamination's now gone. Paper. Trace amounts of graphite. I can't imagine a world with so many trees you could throw paper away. Can you read it? The symbols are too illegible for me to reconstruct. The moisture in this cave must have washed it clean over the centuries. They never discovered a synthetic paper? Oh, what the hell is this actually? I almost missed the standing, thinker weird golem over here. Incredible! I've never seen anything like this. What is it, Aurora? Man-made, primarily steel. Rust caused by natural oxidation. What are you doing here, strange person? Who made you? Artist and art style, unknown. The commander would love this. He's fond of pre-collapse art. Did you get a good scan of this, Aurora? We have to show it to him when we get back up. Ooh, is it giving us 3D scans of things to, report back with? That's cool. Yes, Professor. Well done, my gentle friend. Aurora, is this a building? Yes, Professor. This appears to be the upper portion of a multi-story family residence. Underground, untouched by bloom? Detecting a spike in heart and respiration rates. Are you all right, Professor? I'm fine, Aurora. I'm fine. I just thought we'd been searching for so long. Our search for the sunken city has lasted 3,643 days, so about 10 years. Exactly. Isn't that exciting? If I could feel emotion, Professor, I would likely be excited. Great. So what are we waiting for? Blam! Straight on in there. Aurora? Still with me? Yes, Professor. Systems are nominal. It's still so dark, even with the lantern. We should scan for light sources. Room scan is available. Light sources detected, but no power. Any bloom contamination? None. Any life signs? None found. Let the records show that I've arrived, albeit less than gracefully, inside a pre-collapse house. 300 years ago. People lived here. Let's re-establish communication with the commander. Did anything in the scan look promising? Electronics were detected within this room, Professor. Room scan may be activated again to pinpoint their location. Good. I'll start by finding them. So we have this wardrobe, but I doubt that's anything. I'm just kind of appreciating the lighting and the shadows on the walls and everything like that. What a tangled mess. Oh god. This really is a house from 300 years ago. Every house has a shelf full of infinite unnecessary cables. Cables that are for technologies that are 15 years old. Things that you gave away or lost a decade prior or longer. It's very accurate to the 21st century. Aurora, is this what you detected? Network device. Belkin wireless electronics. Wi-Fi antenna detected. Not a legendary trove of technology, but we have a new antenna. There. Try that. Re-establishing rover link. Did the commander bail? Nah, if he were to bail after this, I probably wouldn't hold it against him. He just would have to recognize that he wouldn't have time to save me from that pit. I can't hold it against him. Commander Ty, can you hear me? Professor? You're alive. Are you okay? Yes, and you can thank Belkin Wireless Electronics. Thanks, Belkin. Aurora, can you share our feed with the commander? This is... Am I seeing this right? You really found it? This is cool. It's like, it reminds me of like the Star Wars hologram technology and kind of like what you see in like the Avengers and I guess other sci-fi-y things. But there's like this live, it's coming two-way through this thing in our hand. Like it's scanning us and projecting that while also transmitting what we're receiving from his end. It's very cool. The sunken city, a prehistoric world of untold treasures. 300 years ago is hardly prehistoric, Commander. But yes, I believe we found it. Amazing work. So, not to dampen the mood, but we do have a storm coming. I don't think I can get back the way I came. I'd say you're lucky you survived the fall. I can't see the bottom of the hole you fell down. There's no way I can reach you. He held on. He didn't bail instantly. Scans show zero contamination down here. There's no immediate danger. Of all the expeditions I've been on, I've never found a truly uncontaminated site. Consider it a first for both of us. Why don't you take the rover and return to Ares? Come back with a full team when the bloom stops. I don't know about that, Professor. I'm still your expedition commander. Abandoning you goes way against protocol. Not to mention my conscience. I've wrote the protocol for this mission, Commander. Don't worry. It is highly inadvisable, Professor. Section 12C, Team Member Separation Emergency. Section 12A, Bloom Storm Contamination Emergency. Section 20, Sunken City or Ancient Ruin Discovery Event. Aurora's not ready to break protocol either. What if something happens down there? Suit failure, collapsed floor, dehydration, mummies. If I'm not monitoring, the rescue team won't even know where to start looking. Alright, fine, point taken. I'll scan what I can while looking for an exit. Great, I'll move the rover. I see some rock covered to the east. Keep the line open. What a good commander. I mean, it's partially his duty to, like, keep me safe and things like that, but at the same time, I thought he would just, like, probably bail, protect the team or whatever, rather than the individual. Depends what kind of populations they have left. Maybe the individual is, like, everything right now. Detecting dried oil, unknown powders, canvas, wood. That's a painting, Professor. We have a few in the Noah Library vault. I've heard of paintings, Commander. Ares isn't that uncultured. They're fragile and hard to preserve, even without bloom. Scanning, 23%, 4368. Scan complete. Recreate the image, Aurora. Let's see what it looked like before it decayed. She can do that? I'm actually pretty impressed by that as well. That seems really cool. Do I get to, like, interact here? Oh, neat. Oh, it's like a weird robot lady, though. Is this just, like, some cool art project that someone made because they just thought it would look neat? Or is this, like, depending when the world actually collapsed, was this a painting of a real thing that existed at the time, you know? Well done, Aurora. It's even clearer than I'd hoped. Professor, how is this possible? Magic! And learning algorithms? But you haven't seen anything yet. What do you mean? There's one more thing I need to test, but I have to scan more of the room first. That seems like a good place to start. The thing that it specifically directs me towards? I'll check the photo here first as well. Oh, do I have more than one option? Oh, grandfather, and then you can do it in like chunks. Grandmother and child. Neat. Do you think these people lived here? A safe assumption, yes. Aurora scanned their faces. Is she storing everything? And so much more. Aurora's building an identity for each person, assessing how they may have talked, what they did, who they were. Based on very little, it would seem. A cupboard full of wires, some mystery painting that you don't know what it's from, and then a picture of them? She'll get more and more accurate the more we show her. If she were to try to simulate a conversation at this point, it would be an old man being like, "Greetings, old woman and young boy," and they'd be like, "Yes, good to see you as well, old man. I'm glad that the three of us could share this conversation together here in one location where the three of us have at some point been. Generic, unknown location that at one time we all shared." That's the extent of the information that it seems we've been able to garner. A site like this opens up a world of possibilities. There's so much we don't understand about life back then. It's time to change that. But here's where I think things will come together. Simulate memory. But I seem to only have two pieces. Okay, there's more things. So, what if I try? What if I try to simulate an incomplete memory? Not enough data. Okay. I thought it would be interesting if it let me simulate it and it came out very fragmented and janky. But no, I gotta get the full picture painted. Infinitab Pro, manufactured in 2015. Too bad we don't have a way to power it up. Once we get this back to Ares, we can add this to the array. You guys are so lucky. All your working computers and devices. Everything at NOAA is so hand-powered. Most salvage tech goes to keeping Aurora up and running. But getting your colony online is part of our mission. Aurora, leave a note. This one's for the people of NOAA. Thank you. A device like that will do wonders. Now I can watch videos in bed before I go to sleep. I see. Kidding. Just kidding. It's a good one. Good joke. So not everything contributes to the full memory crafting here. This one seems to be a little bit extra, something that might actually fall in, be a part of the larger memory. Earthbound magazine, June, A Wave of Trash by Frank Collins. And literally sailing a boat through trash. Jeez, that looks absolutely disgusting. Last month we covered the algal bloom spreading across the Gulf. But this month we wanted to paint a larger picture of the destruction of Earth's most important resource, its oceans. Across the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans, large trash islands have been accumulating. These bodies of debris, sometimes as large as the island of Hawaii, are posing issues, not only to the millions of species that swim in our oceans, but to humans as well. This pre-collapse merazine. I don't know if that's an intentional typo or not. Like, maybe the word magazine is just lost to time, you know? Either that or it's a typo, but I like that I like to pretend that it's just a lost word. Magazine, Professor? Oh, great. This is like the confirmation that it's like a lost word. Oh, you know them. Well, this Earthbound variety appears to be concerned with the planet. Not only that, but it mentioned bloom. An algal bloom, but maybe that's where this all started? There's a lot we could learn from these. But is there anything else in here? Maybe if you inspect some prehistoric toilets, or this picture of what looks to be like a wolf or a pig on the wall in a suit? Some sort of animal in a suit? Is there anything to learn from that while we're at it? Oh, okay, so I do have to be a little bit more detailed in my scanning. I thought it would be... Oh, there we go. I thought it would be abundantly simple to find, like, the necessary components. There was a little... Took a little bit of searching around. Last Will and Testament of Ada Barron. Oh... I, Ada Barron, a resident of Houston, Texas, and citizen of the United States, preceded in death by my husband, Ernest Barron, do hereby declare this to be my final will and testament. I direct all debts and last expenses to be paid as soon as convenient after my death. I authorize my representative to settle claims against my estate. I bequeath my property, both real and personal, as follows. Riken Barron, currently of Lakeshore Drive, as my grandson, with the following property. Now we have their names. Are you seeing these scans? The last will and testament. I am, but I don't really understand. Her belongings didn't return to her community when she died? You don't need to understand the specifics. Resources are so limited that, like, everything is a part of the whole. That's neat. Aurora will make the necessary connections. She's building a relationship model to categorize each artifact. She'll recognize associations even if we don't. I got some of that. Our brains are similar but less accurate. Think of a shower, for instance. Your brain instantly pulls up related information, right? Like the feeling of tiles on your bare feet, the moisture in the air, the bitter smell of disinfectant powder, the sound of spraying water, the sting of sandblasting against your skin. The... what? So you're saying Aurora keeps sort of a living encyclopedia? She... yes, close enough. That's what did Brannon. It's a dangerous game you're playing. I've been waiting so long. Aurora, recreate memory. Localize to this room. Use all scanned artifacts. Archaeograph activated. Identifying entities. Associating artifacts. What's going on? Watch this. Seems to be a little buggy at the moment. His chin is where his groin should be. I don't know if things are working overly accurately. Ada, don't you think it's a bit drab in here? Drab, Ernest? Yes, dear, drab. We haven't had a fresh coat of paint in here since... Processing memory. Archaeograph system at maximum capacity. Excellent, Aurora. Keep trying. Are those ghosts? I like to think of them as memories. We're seeing a past event from this very room. It's a module I built for Aurora, utilizing her ability to predict, project, simulate, and analyze. This conversation really happened? Maybe this is like the best guess at it. You know, it would be hard to get a word-for-word accurate thing. Are you volunteering to redecorate the room, dear? Of course not, Ada. You're the artist, not me. Well, you know, as the resident artist, I believe I have just the idea. Wait now, hang on. I meant we should hire someone. Ah, yes, I can see it now. It will be vivid. Vivid and full of light. No, dear, we'll hire a decorator. I'll bring in my new piece from the studio. The old statue will go, I suppose. When will I learn to keep my big mouth? Hang on. We're losing the statue? Finally, I can get a good night's rest without that gargoyle looming over me. It's the Bishop of Dreams, Ernest, not a gargoyle. Little Riken will be upset, you know. He loves that one. Hey now, that's it. Let's put it outside. The fresh air will be good on his breathing. The lad can play where we can keep an eye on him. Well, that's just a lovely idea. Well, it's a lovely piece. Grandma, the dragons are coming. Hey there, Rikey. We were just talking about you. Were your ears burning? My ears? Let's get you some lunch, Dragon Slayer. Memory complete. Professor, that was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. Whoa, look at the size of that rock over there. This is the promise of the sunken city, Commander. A chance to rediscover the past, where we came from. All it takes is, well, massive amounts of data, actually. Massive amounts. Well, what are you waiting for? There must be a ton of historical data in these ruins. Let's find out what happened to these people. Examining artifacts in other areas will yield additional projections. Good, then let's keep exploring. Hopefully we can just kick our way straight through the door. I was hoping for something a little more punchy. Some action-oriented door kicking. It's hard to know how large this place may be. I will assist your navigation, Professor. Please access your map. Okay, that's helpful. Incomplete memories, complete, red memories, point of interest, blocked, and inaccessible. 89 possible artifacts. Additional rooms will be marked as you visit them. I'll be monitoring progress from the rover as well. From here I can flag obstacles and potential doorways. Unviewed memory nodes will be highlighted as well. Very useful, thank you both. Watch your step down there. Weren't you just gonna go, like, hide behind a rock to, like, avoid the incoming bloom? I don't know how you managed to get away with that. Wonder how much of this house will be accessible. I could try to force it open. Professor, the integrity... Oh, shit. Maybe shouldn't have gone straight for it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Unstable. Sorry, sometimes curiosity gets the better of me. Yeah, I wouldn't risk it if I were you. I'd hate to see a collapsed ceiling get the better of you. I'll be more careful. Bam, bam, hammer right away again. There is a slight temperature variation on the other side. What does that mean? Unknown. Well, I see no way to open it right now. Let's keep moving. I imagine we'll piece together some memory that will involve learning the keypad there. Oh, there's more of that specific type of statue. 2 different room options. I'll go poke my head in this guy first if I can. More weird statues. Gotcha. I'd love to see what Aurora does with this. Aurora can work with the smallest of clues. Even a child's drawing is a part of a bigger story. But I didn't really... I guess that was a tiny scan. That was enough. I didn't need to, like, reconstruct it or anything. Oh, so we have, like, a little bit of an art studio, it looks like. Goleta, A Quiet Place, poems by Emmy. You said my navel is a cup, that you could drink and drink until you're drunk. You said my shoulders, where they dip, could hold a basin to rinse your face. That was such a strange bit of imagery that I couldn't even say it. You said my breasts curved to a tip, that you would climb to reach the summit. This guy's doing it wrong. He's doing belly button shots. That's like a fun start, I guess. Then he's motorboating her shoulder blades and jumping up and down on her boobs. I don't know, man. To each their own. I should be less judgy. You said my hips end. No, let's not go there. I wish I saw myself like you saw me. Just not much of a butt to speak of. Is that what you're saying? A silhouette of constant angles, juxtaposing empty plains, irregular hills and valleys, with landmarks interrupting, soft hands traveling along in gentle exploration. I miss being looked at by a sculptor, admiring his greatest work. Oh, it kind of was a little bit sad at the end there. Another strange statue. This looks so familiar, but I know I've never seen it before. Oh, it's kind of like Venus, but like another weirdo version of it. All the art in this is like a weirdified, robotic, steel, gargoyle-y version of like famous old art. We've preserved some art books at NOAA, but only a few original works. Maybe you can take this one home. I guess the idea, maybe this lady's whole thing was like plays on famous artworks. Maybe it's an alternate history where this is Michelangelo or David and Venus. A hammer, chisel, file, and brushes. Primitive tools for art? In the hands of an artist, even primitive tools can create beauty. Very open-minded of you, Ty. Hard to imagine these tools being used to make elaborate statues. Well, you're not using your imagination very well then, are you? Texas Unlimited, October. This week, we're proud to profile one of Houston's most recognizable artists, Ada Barron. Her largest and final public sculpture, The Drought, has been the centerpiece of Discovery Green Park since it opened in 2008. The Drought depicts a man clutching an empty water spout, his body faded and breaking down into rusted machinery. A striking image. Ada's 40-year career is defined by depictions of people, often merged or fused with complex machinery. Ada gained early fame for her avant-garde reimagining of famous works. That was what I was picking up on. All built with salvaged steel from derelict XL oil fields outside of Houston. That is kind of a cool idea. Recently retired, she agreed to sit down with us to answer some questions and reflect on inspiration throughout her career. And that gives us enough to have a little peek into like her artistic mind. There's like another tablet on the ground, but it must be so damaged or so far gone. So, Reich, what's that supposed to be? A surprise! It's coming along nicely, Rick. Probably Reich, but it's Reichen. I don't know, I'll call it Reich. Looks like a tree or claws. Wait until he's finished, dear. Almost done. Just one more weird line and swoop away. There! Don't forget to sign it. An artist leaves their mark. I still don't know what it's supposed to be. A bunch of horses? It's the way birds sound when they take off flying. Huh. Guess you got that artistic interpretation gene from your grandmother then. What are you going to call it? Untitled number 34. I think it's lovely. Just lovely. Do you like it, Grandpa? No, not one bit. I don't get it. It's scary and confusing and troubling to my dear old heart. We'll put it on the wall right next to the new statue. Great. We've got 2 artists in the house now. Oh, you love it, dear. He was a sweet kid. His memories, the artwork. We're really learning how life used to be. So much is captured in art. The pieces we have in the Noah Vault have been studied for generations. Glad we didn't give up the search. You know I couldn't wait to join this expedition, but I admit, for so long I thought maybe it was a wild moose chase. As a Canadian, I appreciate that. Wild moose chase? A pre-collapse saying we like to use. The moose was a mythical creature. Something of great tales and legend. Turns out... But when you really take the research a step further, it turns out moose live in Banff.
I thought unicorn was so extinct, but unicorn live in Banff.
People wasted their whole lives trying to find them, to touch their lucky horns. Commander, mooses weren't, what is it? You know what? Let's talk about it some other time. I'm really enjoying the concept of the game. It's pretty slow-paced, which I know some people may or may not be into. I like the idea of the kind of... that, I don't know, it's used for comedy pretty often. It's like a fish out of water thing where these people are trying to put themselves in the shoes of like modern society, and it's very interesting having their like alien take of like, I don't know what mooses are. Why did people make art? What was the purpose of that? A last will and testament to give your things to someone when you die? Like, not understanding those concepts and everything is very interesting, and I like the way that this game specifically is handling it. For now, I'm to fill everyone in on my current plan, I am going to leave this as a part 1. I am going to pitch this and 2 other games that are recently on the channel that I've done part 1s of, and I want to put it to a community vote, so please check like the community tab of the channel, and I'll be running a poll there for a while. I'll give it like a nice healthy chunk of time to ask people specifically which of those 3 games they want to see developed into a full series. There's too many games releasing all the time. I can't do full series on all of them, so that would be greatly helpful to me. So let me know what you guys thought of this game. If you specifically want more of this, make sure to go keep an eye out for that poll. I'll post it like now, so it's available. You can go check that out. And otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.